This is Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY. It's sponsored by Independent Bank, and every Saturday morning we have a chat about worthwhile things, good things going on in the community. And Katy, Huckle, were you ever a roller skater?
Big time.
You were?
I knew how to shoot the duck. I knew how to skate backwards, all of it.
Okay. So I have two left feet, so I have
dear.
never been on roller skates before. They scare the living daylights out of me. However, I have on many occasions been to the Once Upon a Time Skatetricity in Cadillac, where my daughter had a couple of birthday parties. She attended some birthday parties, and it was a wonderful gathering place in Cadillac.
Wonderful outlet for kids. So we have a special lady with us today, Rich.
Yes, Michelle Froelich is with us, and Michelle, I found out you were one of the co-owners of Skatetricity.
I was.
So, first of all, welcome. Second of all, before we even get to your fundraising activities to try to bring back a roller rink to Cadillac, tell us how you felt on that day that special old barn burned to the ground.
So October 12th, of 2017, absolute worst day of my life. There was nothing that could make it better. Mm-hmm. Nothing. It was gone. Mm-hmm. And
you're getting emotional just recalling it here.
Right.
Yep.
4.5 years later.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's when I say to people that a part of my soul died that day, it's an understatement.
Tell us about the personal connection you had to that building.
It was my first job.
Uh-huh.
When I was 14 years old. I worked for Penny and Claude Woods. Absolutely phenomenal people. Come 2008, my sister and I purchased it, and there just was never a moment that it was not home. From the time I could remember, it was home.
Right.
There was everything from new relationships to breakups to birthday parties to watching my niece and my nephew grow up while they're working there. Being behind the DJ booth, oh my gosh, some of the best moments of my life there.
A happy place.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And if there was a bad day, there was nothing that rink couldn't fix for me. If I go in there, it made everything better.
So you achieved, I guess, a lifelong dream when you became co-owner of that building.
When I was younger, my dreams were a little different, but it was always there. And now that it's not there, my dreams had to change drastically because not having the one thing in my life that supported me for years outside of my absolutely wonderful family, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 4+ years. Why now? Why is it in your head now to do this? Why wasn't it 2-3 years ago?
Oh, it has been.
Okay.
But the why now is why not.
Okay.
Nice. Why not? And I'll tell you, I mean, we can talk about, the pandemic, and we can talk about what that's done to kids. I mean, having to quarantine and not be able to play in tight spaces and not be able to be together. I mean, we've talked to Dr. Whalen at length about the impact that COVID has had on young people. And I'm just so tickled to hear about your efforts and I wouldn't bet against you, Rich. I would not bet against this woman right now after that story. But kids need to be together and they need to have things to laugh and smile about. And they need less screen time and more exercise,
absolutely.
all these things.
Too much time on the couch with the phone.
It is
Yes.
not just kids with the phones, though.
Okay.
We are all guilty of that.
Right.
All of us.
Well, that's true. Maybe
And-
we need to be at the roller rink, Rich.
Yes, you do.
And it's very
Okay.
hard to hold a phone and have a conversation while you're roller skating at the same time.
Well, we're going to, yeah.
Let's not test that theory.
Exactly. I bet you have a rule once you pull this off that you can't be actively on your phone. You're going to crash into other skaters.
Well, and that's kind of something to be seen because even in 2017, it wasn't something that you're like too worried about, but it's honestly comparable to driving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as
Right.
dangerous, but it's still dangerous. And any roller skating rink you ever go to, there will be a placard that says skate at your own risk. I should be putting one up that says skate at your own risk. And if you have a cell phone while you're doing it, double that risk.
Exactly right.
Yep.
So Rich, because you weren't a roller skater as a child and as a teenager, I have to tell you, a lot goes down at the roller rink.
Oh,
okay?
that I know.
Okay.
Because I had cousins, and they were there every day.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the social place to be.
Oh, my. And what you put, so we had pom-poms on our skates. Like big puffy, like, you know how people's winter stocking caps, ladies have those kind of furry pom-pom things on? That's the trend.
On the tip, yeah.
Okay. Well, the more, the better of a skater you were type thing, the more pom-poms you had on the front of your skates. So, I mean, there were girls that had, 3 and 4 of those great big pom-poms, and those were the really good roller skaters. See?
Gotcha.
How you look out there, Rich.
It's all in the presentation,
Oh,
right?
yeah. And the silk jackets, too. See,
Okay.
That was, you're younger than us, Michelle, but that was a look, too. These pink and baby blue silk jackets, and then they had the name of the roller rink on the back.
So where you grew up, were there multiple roller rinks, Katy?
No, there
one?
was just one.
Okay.
But that's what made it so fun. There were 4 junior highs.
Oh.
And so that's how you would meet people from the other schools.
From the other schools.
See,
Gotcha.
And then you would make new friends, and you would eat food that's not good for you, like Laffy Taffy and snow cones. It was awesome.
So you obviously saw lifelong friendships begin
Absolutely.
at that roller rink.
Yeah.
So what's your plan? So the reason why we had you here
Right.
is because if you're following The Spot on Facebook, this is your page, this is your way of getting the word out that you want to reignite the magic in Cadillac.
Absolutely.
So tell us the story.
So, first and foremost, I'm needing help funding it. I am one person that is not financially capable myself to do this. I am doing auctions and stuff throughout this year. So this is going to be a journey. I need funding. That is going to be the biggest part of this entire thing for the initial section. Everything from donations for auctions, donations that are monetary, and of course, investors are going to be a big part of it, and loans from banks. It's difficult.
And
You're having an auction today?
You're having an auction today.
I am.
Can you point us to where that's happening?
So right on the Facebook page for The Spot. It'll be at 3 o'clock today, and I'm looking forward to auctioning off the items that the local businesses have offered up for donations. I'm super excited to also get their names out there as well, because supporting businesses in this community and the communities around it are part of being a small business.
Michelle, think about our little town. I mean, these kids have a ski resort, right? They have a skateboard park. They have the lake to run around. They have the disc golf out at Kenwood. And now you're going to bring this back. And I think it's really important for folks to get out their checkbooks, folks with kids, folks with grandkids, but also folks that want to make Cadillac a better place.
Absolutely.
So do you have a spot in mind for The Spot?
So The Spot, I have a spot in mind.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of up in the air right now because I'm trying to get a foothold with the person that owns it. It is a very difficult thing to try and do right now, but I'm hoping. I do have a contingency plan, but that would up the numbers quite a bit from where I'm sitting at right now.
Okay.
And there's, that not only do you need the money to open it, but you need to be able to make it sustainable and
Yes.
maintain it.
Yep. Yeah, because it's not going to do that for itself right out the gate.
Michelle, can we talk numbers? How much money total do you need to raise to acquire the land and to build the facility, and then your skates and your equipments and your
Right.
shells, all that?
So the absolute total number, and this is including loans, donations, investors, you name it, I'm sitting at about $829,000, which is a huge number, but that is including buying the land, getting all of the permits, building the building, paying all the labor for all of that, doing the furnishing, HVAC and all of that fun stuff. And that also includes a nearly $200,000 northern hardwood maple skating floor.
Okay, so what's the math on that?
So it comes out to between $15 and $20 a square foot.
Okay.
It's kind of depending this point on what time we're going to be able to get it done. You know, if the prices go up, it's going
Right.
to take more. That's why I would rather get it done now versus, waiting another year, another 2 years. Who knows what inflation's going to do? It's been going rapidly, and I don't want to have to deal with, having to be over $1 million for this project.
So right now, as it stands, almost a quarter of the amount that you're looking for will be tied up in the floor.
Yes. And that is
Isn't that? I know that is a fun fact. No
Well,
one would have known that.
And this is the thing. I grew up at Skatetricity. I grew up with a northern maple hardwood floor. There is nothing better. Nothing better.
So
Unless
you don't want to cut corners on
no,
this. Yeah.
no.
Can you tell us why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, but what makes it?
So
Exactly, yeah.
there, you can go outside and you can skate. You can skate on the road, on the sidewalks and whatnot, which it's fun, sure. You fall, and when you fall hard, and it hurts. The hardwood floors have a little bit more give to them.
I see.
And when they are finished correctly and maintained well, they have a little bit of a grip to them, which is optimal, especially for beginning skaters, because then they don't have to worry so much about sliding around. There are other factors too, the types of wheels you use and whatnot, but that floor is super important for anybody.
Does that $200,000 also include the finish for the floor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the install, the labor, the cost of the wood and the finishing. And as much as I would love to have that be from a company right here, I have found somebody that I truly trust up in Traverse City, and they are going to be phenomenal.
Wow. Michelle, we can't wait to talk to you some more. We're going to go to break and be right back. This is the lady that's bringing a roller rink back to Cadillac, everybody. We'll be right back with more of Cadillac Unscripted right after this.
Back in Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY, sponsored by Independent Bank. We love talking about people making a difference in the community. And as we had just mentioned in our first segment, Cadillac has now gone 4 years and approximately 3 months without a roller skating rink.
That's right. And as Michelle tells us about her plans and her dreams, there's just a smile plastered on that beautiful face. Michelle, he's never roller skated before.
I have not.
And he says he has 2 left feet. Listen, I'm not one of these people who's overly graceful. I will own that. But it took me just a minute to learn how to roller skate, Rich. So can we talk to Rich and our listeners about how easy it is to learn and some tips you have?
Oh, absolutely. Let's start off with this. Okay. Have you ever ridden a bike?
This is going to come as a shock. I've never.
Oh my
never
goodness.
learned.
Okay. Have you ever talked on a microphone?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Just,
See, it honestly is as easy as you make it. If you make it hard in your brain, you're going to make it hard for yourself getting on any sort of wheels.
so it's about approaching everything with an open mind.
Yes.
Right.
And my absolute favorite advice that I ever received, and I give out to every single person that ever is trying to learn to skate, is no matter if you're on quads or if you're on blades, waddle like a duck.
Really?
So it's all about keeping...
You're getting this image in your mind, aren't you, Katy?
Perfect. Yes, sorry.
Waddle like a duck.
No, it's all good. It's about keeping your balance and your weight distribution correct.
Okay.
Especially for little kids. But now there is things like the skate mate, which is kind of like a little triangle thing that little kids use. I could probably make one big enough for you. Make it nice and tall.
Can I be there?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So, and that's sort of like the kids who are learning to ice skate for the first time.
Yeah.
They have that triangle thing that they push along. How old were you when you first got on roller
Oh,
skates?
goodness. I would say probably 6 or so.
Okay.
But I will tell you, my niece and my nephew were 6 and 4 when we purchased the rink. And I'm pretty sure they were backwards skating before I was even on the floor for the first time after we bought it. They were phenomenal and quick at it. And kids do that. It's us adults that get in our own ways of learning.
Well, amen. I don't know if you've ever seen anyone try to learn, but how I learned was holding on to another person. You probably see that
Oh, yeah.
saw that all the time. And what you're with a pro or with somebody who's really good at it, and they kind of just drag you along.
I've seen the newbies who are feeling along the wall.
Yes.
Right? And that's part of the learning curve too.
That's what I did to learn backward skating.
Okay.
You go along the wall. I didn't have anybody hold my hand. They're like, go do it yourself. So you hold the wall and you fall, 20 times and you get back up and you do it over again. At the end of the day, you're going to be sore, but you'll get it.
It's good exercise,
It
Michelle.
is, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love about it. In the RSA, which is the Roller Skating Association, they have tons of information, of course, on what it's like on your body to skate. It is much less impactful on your joints. And one of my favorite things to tell people is 600 calories can be burnt 30 minutes a week. 600 calories in a week can be burnt 30 minutes a day.
Okay, I am because it doesn't feel like a workout.
No.
It really doesn't. Now, I will tell you, growing up, the superstar skaters, the people that really had all the tricks and all the moves and all the spins and could go low and high and what, they would go into the middle of the ring, Rich, which is sort of a no-no. You're supposed to be either going clockwise or counterclockwise, so people aren't banging into each other.
Right.
But if you were a good enough show person, you could be in the middle and you could do whatever you wanted. And we would just go to the corners of the rink and just watch that person. As you can imagine, that was sort of the local heartthrob type person,
Okay.
Spinning around. And, it was wonderful.
Ooh, look at him.
He's dreamy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't think about roller skating as a child without smiling.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's happy times.
And, I'm glad that you brought up, the people that will go out there and they do all the fancy skating. I would love to bring in programs like doing speed skating.
Cool.
I would love to host roller derby bouts. But that is for the future. It's not going to happen right away. But I would love to do jam skating, which is learning how to dance on skates. There are special type of roller skates that you get for that, and they have like little plugs instead of brakes. And everything from that to roller hockey. One of my absolute favorite things that I've been seeing a lot is doing the speed skating on blades as the typical speed skate. But I've seen that there are people doing an outdoor style skate that are doing them indoors.
Oh, wow.
And it's very comical because it's a completely different surface. And then you have these different types of wheels. And I don't know if that's something I would really, get into, but it'd be fun to see once in a while.
Michelle, can you give us an idea of what the layout of the rink will look like, and will you be serving food?
Yeah. So the layout, I intend on it being similar to what the one for Skatetricity was, but much bigger. And the floor will be kind of off to the side when you first walk in. It'll be right in front of your face. When you come in, you'll have the concessions and the novelty shop, DJ booth, and skate room off to the left. And at the end, I'm hoping to have a small arcade that will eventually grow with the building. Food-wise, oh gosh.
Really?
I'm going to expand the menu from what we had.
Nice.
Of course, we'll have BC Pizza there again. We'll have the famed nachos and cheese and the pretzels, all of that stuff. But I would also like to expand the menu and include things like quesadillas.
Nice.
I want to do paninis possibly. Do some stuff that's a little bit extra and go over the top and be extra because it's going to be fancy.
That's wonderful. One of the things I loved as a kid about going to the roller rink is that it was affordable. Every socioeconomic, group can afford to go to the roller rink. So for our listeners who've never done it, give us a price point.
So what I'm thinking about right now, because prices have went up for everything, I'm going to go a little bit higher than what we had at Skatetricity. I'm going to do $7 for a 3-hour session and $10 for a 6-hour session.
Excellent. So go for 6 hours, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on in.
And then what about skate rental and that kind of thing?
Yep. So I'm going to do this one a little bit different too. And I'm actually modeling this off of other skating rinks that I've been to since the fire. They do a $5 deposit on skates, which seems high, but you will turn around and you will get $2 back for a refund. That way the rental is covered and we make sure we get our skates back.
Excellent. So it's costing you $3 to rent skates.
Yep.
That seems reasonable to me, Rich, doesn't it?
It's very reasonable. Now, you said that you visited other places.
Yes.
Is there a gold standard in your mind of a place that you visited that you would want to model this after?
So my absolute favorite one that I have been to so far is Jumpin' Jupiter in Muskegon.
Okay.
The owners are actually also mentoring me, which has been really, really great.
Nice.
But I love going to Big Rapids roller rink. I've been there quite a few times. Other than that, I haven't been too much south, but when I lived in Germany, I'd went to one there too. Completely different story. But I love my rinks around here. I just do.
What's your demographic snapshot? How old do you think your audience is going to be?
So ideally 1 to 99, but we know that's not necessarily feasible because, you can't really skate at 1. But the awesome thing is we can get either the kiddie carts, buggies, or parents can bring in their strollers and push the kids around in their stroller while the parents skate.
Awesome.
The main demographic, though, would be sitting between 4 years old and 70 years old, doing everything from birthday parties to group gatherings, organizational gatherings, church groups, anything like that.
What was your most common in the last few years? Your most common event at Skatetricity? Was it birthday parties? Was it? What was it, the usual event there?
The usual event would be, birthday parties were a big part of it. But whenever we did these overnight skates, the all-night blackouts, you have a 12-hour session. I think it was $20 back then. And that included, you come in, you skate for 12 hours, you just have fun. And we did a lot of games and glow sticks and black lights. And, the lights went out. And it was just fun. And it made it a little bit mysterious to have all this stuff off. But at the same time, we were able to, as best we could, keep track of these kids and make sure they weren't being, bad.
Well, speaking of that, so do you have someone with a whistle and in like a referee outfit to keep everybody? No kidding.
Yes, I will. I will have floor guards. They will be wearing the ref shirts and they will definitely have the whistles. One thing I have joked around with my husband is, have refs out there and like doing the whistles to the sound of a song. I think that could get confusing for the younger crowd, though, so maybe on like an adult night or something, but it would be super fun, fun.
So a very big fundraiser happens today,
Yes.
online. Before we finish up, I know you probably want to thank some of the folks who donated to make this thing happen today.
Absolutely. Right off the top, Michigan Coffee Company in Cadillac West, Laura Dillon is the owner. Absolutely amazing person. She does a lot for this community. She hires people that are energetic and smiley and fun. And she has donated Slaughterhawk Photography. Anthony, he is wonderful. He has donated 3 family sessions, not family sessions, senior portrait sessions. And that elates me. Another one would be Jamie Fisk-Grames. She donated a session for photography. Wexford Jewelers, big shout out to them. I was not expecting them to do something this big. They donated a watch that is $189 worth, and it is just gorgeous. If I had the money, I would bid on it myself.
They are such wonderful
They
people,
are.
Keith and
They
Julie
are.
and that team. Wow.
And there have just been so many people to help out. Spytech Chiropractic, they donated a really nice pillow that, again, if I could do it, I would. Along with some supplements, and so many people. And if I had the time to sit here and thank every single one of them on the air, I would. But
So-
they are.
Where do we go so people can see that list of sponsors and thank them personally with a bid?
Absolutely. So on Facebook is where the auction will be today at 3 p.m. So, hop on Facebook, get on there, do your bidding on these auction items. I can also put information on there for any of the fundraising as well. There's options to do cash, check. I can take cards now because I have a card reader. I can do PayPal and Venmo. Those are kind of standard nowadays. So absolute must to have those for donations. So yeah, just the Facebook page, and I'm looking to have a website up soon too, and then I can do a constant thank you to everybody.
Michelle, when we were on break, you said something very powerful because I said, if this happens. Can you tell us your reaction to when folks say to you, if this happens?
Well, Katy, you are wrong. It is never going to be an if this happens, and I cannot underline that enough. It is when this will happen.
Atta girl.
So everything goes just the way you want it. I'm going to piggyback off of one of Katy's most popular questions. Everything goes well. Everything, the stars line up. Mm-hmm. When would you prefer to have? I know you'd say tomorrow if you could.
Oh, absolutely.
But if all the stars lined up, what's your timetable here?
So realistically, first of next year.
Okay.
To be open. That
is not far off.
That is ambitious.
Yep.
Good for you.
I mean, if I really wanted to push the envelope here, I would shoot by, October. But realistically, I believe if the money can line up quick enough, it would be open by the first of next year.
Michelle, the kids in this town are going to be thanking you, and we thank you so much for your passion behind this.
Thank you,
It's exciting.
Katy. Thank you.
Right. Michelle Froelich, thanks for coming in. And all right, before we finish up, somebody wants to sign you a big fat check today. How do they get a hold of you? How do they find you, track you down?
Call me, email me, come right to my house. I don't care. Just get hold of me.
You've got an email address.
Yes.
Why don't you give that out?
Yep, it's Cadillac Rink, just like Cadillac, and then RINK @gmail.com. And phone number is 231-878-4859.
Let's support her, everybody.
Absolutely. All right, Cadillac Unscripted, sponsored by Independent Bank. Join us next week, same time, same station, for more local chat right here on 107.9 CDY.